Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Hey. So today I am doing a little video of the thing that I know if you are a reader and you ever sat down and looked at your bookshelf, I know that you have done this before. And it's basically just talking about all of the books that I own. So I don't have just like one bookshelf. I have stacks of books throughout my room, and then I have like two different bookshelves and then bookshelves attached to my wall, and then books like it's just they're kind of everywhere. So I'm going to be showing off my 200 plus book collection. I love reading and I love buying books, and those two hobbies are two separate hobbies. They are not the same hobby. I love buying books almost as much as I love reading them, and I love putting them up. I think the exact number is like 212 or 215. I don't know. So, honestly, without further ado, let's just get into this video. So, this is the bookshelf that I first had when I started to get into reading, and then I ended up just getting way too full and I had to move on to other places. But this is probably my most organized of all my shelves. It's just very like thought out methodically about where all these books go. Starting off, we have my Percy Jackson section, which is not just one like section, but it goes like all the way down here. So we have the Percy Jackson series right here, and then the Heroes of Olympus series right here. Then we have the Trials of Apollo series down here. And so it kind of just goes like that. Then next to the Percy Jackson series, I kind of have my like little makeshift romance section. Most of these actually, except for two of them, they're not actually like just regular little rom-com books. They're books that I bought because they're like contemporary romance, and I knew they were gonna be sad. And I went through a phase where I only read romance books if I knew somebody was gonna die at the end. Um, so yeah. Next to that section is my favorite section. I have to move this. Hold on. This is my favorite section up here, and this is my Grishaverse, however you pronounce it. My Grishaverse section. So we have the Shadow and Bone right here, and then we have Six of Crows over here, and then the King of Scars and whatever down there, and it's all like that. I have a little candle sitting next to it. I got this for my birthday years ago, and I never lit it because I loved it too much, and it's called Introvert. What does it say? It says featuring a calming blend of vanilla and the scent of canceled plans. Isn't that just so cute? It actually smells delightful. Moving on down here, I have sort of a like. I'm gonna have to move this camera again. So this is like my fantasy section, and again, I have the Carve the Mark duology right there, and then going down is my Red Queen books all along here. Over here is kind of a this is like a tiny section here. This is like a tiny section of books about dogs. So I have like Because of Winn-Dixie and Where the Red Fern Grows, and then A Dog's Purpose, and I think this is like a poetry book. Yes, it's like a poems and memories or memoirs. This says memories, right? Am I dumb? Anyway, it's called All Dogs Are Good. I read this a while ago and it actually like sobbed my eyes out. It's really good if you want to read it. This is like my dystopian section sort of right here because I have the Maze Runner series, and then I have 1984 and I have 1984 and then Scythe, which I actually never finished the rest of the series, but the first book was really good. Moving on down here, we have what I consider is my classic section, just because my classic or historical fiction section. So I have like, there's A Christmas Carol in there, there's A Wrinkle in Time, there's Emma, there's another edition of 1984, there's The Book Thief, which is one of my favorite books ever to be written. Um, Along with All the Light We Cannot See, Bridget Terabithia, Pride and Prejudice, and Little Women. Just that kind of like genre of book in there. There's a little candle sitting here that my friend gave me. Never light candles that I think are cute. So that's it. I also have another candle over here. If you want to see, I painted this candle myself. Look how cute it is. It's a little frog with a little. Ah, look how adorable. I painted that. Moving on, down here, which you can actually barely see, and all you can see is me. Or not even me. This is a random section of books down here. I have the Legend series, and then I have the Penderwick books down there, which are some fire books. If you've never heard of them, you should read them. And then over here is my Harry Potter shelf right here. I have it's all the books, all Harry Potter books with some little figurines that I just found. And then also with this, oh my gosh, this is the most awkward angle ever. This is a bookmark that I watercolor painted to use while I'm reading the series. Super cute. It's all of the books. So that is what that shelf looks like. And now let's move on to the second shelf. So the next shelf is like right next to it, and it's not a shelf actually. It is just an assortment of books sitting on my desk. And so with some movies over here. So but first we have, which actually need a little bookend right here because this is about to fall, but we have my beautiful Divine Rivals duology. I love this duology so much. I could talk about this duology forever. It's right here. You can look at it while I'm sitting at my desk. Next to it is Wings of Starlight, and then we have the A Good Girl's Guide to Murder trilogy. Love that one too. It's been so long since I read that series, but it is so good. You should totally read it. The next is my special editions of The Hunger Games, which you've probably seen these. They're just really pretty, and I wanted to buy them and then just put them on my desk. Then we have all my movies. Some Barbie movies, The Hunger Games, and all the Harry Potter movies. The next shelf is the one that is right next to my bed, which also serves as a nightstand. I put this one together myself. I'm very proud of it. I ordered it on Amazon all by myself. It shipped to my house. I built it with screws and everything. Boom, I put it right here. It's great. Top shelf is where I have my amazing Caraval and Once Upon a Broken Heart series. I love these books so much. Another one like I talk about for ages. I just love them so much. It's kind of like mismatched with the Once Upon a Broken Heart because I have whenever I read A Curse for True Love, the last book, they didn't have it in paperback yet, and I was like, buying I am not reading the whole thing in paperback and then reading the last one in hardcover. It's gonna ruin the whole thing. But then it ended up this one being smaller anyway, because I went on the internet and searched for the UK covers. But look how pretty. I'm pretty sure these got discontinued too, so I feel like I have a book that people would pay me money for, but I'm never gonna sell it. Ever. Because I love this book. And I just love it so much. Ugh, I love it. And yeah, so that goes over here. Next to those, I have The Hobbit and then The Lord of the Rings. I have seen the movies multiple times, but I have read The Hobbit and I've read The Fellowship of the Ring, but I have not seen the Hobbit movie. And I but I've seen The Lord of the Rings multiple times, the trilogy, but I've only read the first Lord of the Rings book. So call me a fake fan. I don't care. Their books are good, but reading the Fellowship of the Ring took me a month to read, and I was listening to the audiobook with it. So guys, don't get at me for not reading the books. Next, down here I have just this like most random assortment of books. There's like The Secret History and Red Rising, three of the Red Rising books. There is a Bible right here. Like we have the Mysterious Benedict Society right next to We Were Liars, and there's Orbiting Jupiter down here. If you've never read Orbiting Jupiter, I read this in one day. It is actually one of the saddest books I've ever read, and I sobbed my eyes out, but it is absolutely amazing. It's super short, and like the font is like pretty big. Like, look at this. Like, that's what the page looks like. Like, there's hardly any words on a page, and it's only like 100 pages. And I read it in like one sitting, basically, and I cried. I think this was like also super close to Christmas because I read it. It was like I was like trying to get to my Goodreads challenge, reading challenge, whatever. And I was like, this is really short, and I bought this a while ago, and somebody said it was good, so I'm gonna read it. It was like really close to Christmas time. I was like, I am not feeling the Christmas joy and spirit during while I read this book sitting next to my Christmas tree. It was so good. It was 5 stars, but read Orbiting Jupiter if you can. It's really good. Alright, on to the next shelf. Next shelf is again like the one on my desk, is not a shelf, but it is a stack of just random books, like no rhyme or reason why they're over here. They just ended up over here, but I have Thousand Heartbeats and Defy the Night trilogy. I have some Lynn Painter books up here, and down here they kind of are like, I guess, hardcover on the bottom and paperback as you go up. Some I Turn Pretty, Kiss the Deception, The Assassin's Blade, Christmas Book, Watch Me, and then A Study of Drowning, duology. So, just, I also have like some cutie little bows up here for no reason. I thought it would be nice because I had them and I just like threw them on top of here. This one is hard though because the amount of dust, and honestly, I just need to dust my bookshelves more often, but the amount of dust that settles on top of whatever the top book is up here is insane. You can't see anything on my finger, but there's dust on it, and I dust it. So yeah, moving on to the next shelf. So up here, this is the next shelf, and I'm not even going to attempt to get in frame with this one, but it's my floating bookshelves, and there's not really any reason why I chose these ones, it's just kind of what worked out. But I have the Cruel Prince trilogy, or actually, that's not what it was called. It's the Folk of the Air. That's what that's called. Then I have my Powerless books, and then I have the Hunger Games over here. The Hunger Games trilogy is sitting in another stack that I will get to in a second, but this is what I have up here. It's really cutie up here, my vines, and I have some little paper butterflies hanging from the ceiling. Just super cute, cutesy. The next shelf is a shelf that you saw at the beginning of the video and may or may not have seen in past videos, but this is my little book cart. It's got some cute stickers all over it. It's really nice. I love this one a lot. I can move this one wherever I want, and it is just a nice way of displaying my books and also organizing them. But at the top up here, we have the first 3 Throne of Glass books because I started the first one and then I bought like over there I had the Assassin's Blade. I didn't actually read the next one. I didn't finish it. I started a couple years ago and I never finished this series because um I didn't. So next to it we have the selection series right here. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Love those ones. Next to that we have the uh what is this series called? The Chaos Walking trilogy. I read this like when I was 15 years old, I think. I loved this so much. I read it solely because I wanted to watch the movie because Tom Holland was in it, and you know I love Tom Holland, or at least I loved Tom Holland when I was younger. But anyway, I wanted to watch it because he was in it. It ended up being really, really good. It was so good. This whole trilogy was really good. I just would recommend it to you. Next to the Chaos Walking trilogy, I have the Inheritance Games trilogy. I have these are the first 3 ones, and I have these in paperback, and I have the 2 of the other ones. I have only read these ones, and I plan on reading the rest of all the books in that universe because these were really good. I loved them. I have the other ones, and they're in hardcover, so they're in another section. But yeah, that's the top shelf up here. Just not really any reason, just that's what fit up there. Next is the second shelf, which this is my probably my favorite shelf on this thing. It's my Marissa Meyer shelf, and right now we're missing Gilded Duology, which goes right here because it's in another stack right now. But I love Marissa Meyer so so much. She's one of my favorite authors. Like, I have not read a book by her that I did not like. We have the Renegades trilogy, we have the Lunar Chronicles, and then we have Heartless. Heartless was the first book of hers that I read. It is actually just so it is such a good book. A lot of times she does like retellings of fairy tales, and so this one is like the backstory of the Queen of Hearts. So so good. Really, really good. Just read it. Don't know what else more to say about it. Just read it. Next shelf I have down here is a mix of, like, I don't know what you would call this. It's kind of like dystopian, but also books that I think Divergent was published by HarperCollins, but I don't know. That kind of whole, I don't know, vibe of a book. But these books will be. Hold on, let me fix this camera. There we go. You can kind of see that better. These books will. It's just sitting over there by itself. These books will be rearranged at some point. I might do a little rearranging my bookshelf video. So I guess this whole video is also pointless. So we have the Divergent trilogy plus 4, and then we have it's also just my Tahara Mafi shelf. I love Tahara Mafi, which will also be expanding this. That's why I'm probably gonna move the Divergent trilogy somewhere else, because once I get the next book in the Woven Kingdom series and I get Release Me, which is coming out next month, and I will probably move Watch Me over here, so we'll just be expanding. But yeah, we have Divergent, the Woven Kingdom series, and then the Shatter Me series over here. Super nice, super good. Love Shatter Me. Yeah. Down here we have Twilight, my Twilight section. The Twilight books, not really a section, but I have the Twilight books. If you don't know Twilight, what are you doing? Um Over here we have the Keeper of the Lost Cities. I have the first 4 books because, little fun fact, I bought these when I was like 15 years old and I never read them. Not one single page. I don't even know what it's about, but I heard that they were good, and so I went on Thrift Books and I bought the first 4 books. And I actually never read them. I'm considering getting rid of them because I just haven't. So, but if somebody can convince me to read them, I will. I just don't see myself reading them, even though I know, like, I heard they're really super good, but I just, like, I haven't read them, and I don't feel like I will, and it will break my heart to get rid of them, but they've been sitting here for years, and I have not read them, so I think I might get rid of them. Down here under my shelf is like a little extra section. It's just books I threw under here because I wanted to get rid of them. I This is The Alchemist with the Secrets of the Immortal Nicholas Flamel. I bought this on a whim at a thrift store because it said Nicholas Flamel, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, Harry Potter, Nicholas Flamel!" And I never read it. I'm never going to, so we're gonna get rid of it. Another one down here is We'll Always Have Summer. The Summer I Turned Pretty last book. It's actually the original covers, and I just don't like this cover. I might keep it maybe, but the thing is, cause like, oh, it's like, oh, the original covers, which I don't think they sell these anymore. But the thing is, I never liked these books, and I never say that about a book ever, but the show was actually better. Well, like, usually it's always a book is better. No, guys. The on screen adaptation was actually more entertaining than this trilogy was to me. Like, it was just so boring. So that's why I'm like, I have no emotional attachment over this series, and I might just get rid of it. It does have some bonus content, which I might read and then get rid of. So yeah, that is this whole shelf. And then I have one more stack to get to. Actually, 2 more technically. 1.5, I guess. This is my to be read stack. These are minus the Hunger Games. I have not read any of these books, and the idea is that I'm just going to go through every time I finish a book, just pick up the next one. And I just gathered all the books around my room. That's why there's some empty spots on the shelves. That that's where these books came from because I haven't read them and I want to read them. So mine is The Hunger Games because I've read these about 4 times, going on to the fifth. I read them every single year. I love them so much. This is what we have going on over here. We've got Onyx Storm. We've got Onyx Storm. I am reading Iron Flame right now. That's why where is it? That's why this thing is sitting over here. Gotta get rid of that while you read. But then we got The Hunger Games, The Art of Racing the Rain, which I started reading like back in October, and then I paused it because I wanted to read the Harry Potter series, and then I just never got back to it. We have Fearful, Gilded and Cursed by Marissa Meyer, Thorn Season, which I'm really excited to read. I'm so excited to read this book because I saw somewhere that it said it's like a mix of the selection and Shadow and Bone, and you know I love the selection and Shadow and Bone, so I'm hoping I'm going to love this book. We have Percy Jackson book, Chalice of the Gods, which is that how you pronounce it? The Chalice of the Gods? I don't know because I pronounced when I watched the show. Apparently, it was Chiron. That's how you're supposed to pronounce his name. I have been pronouncing his names as Sharon for years, so I don't know how to pronounce anything. Next, I have the Poppy War, Fable, and Namesake. I don't have the third book yet. A Darker Shade of Magic, The House of Sapphire by Marissa Meyer, The Brothers Hawthorne and the Grandest Game, Catabasis or Catabasis, I don't really know, and The Visible Life of Addie LaRue, and then The Ascended. Now this stack pile, the idea is to get through all of it, but I don't actually have to read it in this order. It's just what the order I think I'm going to get through with. I might move things around depending on what I feel like, but eventually I will get through all of it. Now, the last shelf is just not even a shelf, it's just a new little stack that I have. I'm starting a new stack in my room, which I can actually just go over here and do this. I just finished Fourth Wing, so that's sitting over there by itself. It's just a new stack of sorts of finished books. We got the finished or unread, and then we got the finished over here. If you saw my last video, I just finished reading Project Hail Mary, but somebody is borrowing it right now because I recommended it to people, so somebody wants to borrow it. And then, but that will go over there. But right now, Fourth Wing is sitting all alone over here. And that is actually it. That is the end of my video. That is the end of all of my books. Like, it doesn't seem like a lot of books, but when it's all sitting around here, but then when I move them all into like a pile or something, it feels like, yeah, that is actually 200 plus books. Like, it feels like I own like 50 books. I don't own anything. No, I own a lot of books, and it's not even the tip of the iceberg of what other book people own and what I will eventually own. So that is actually it. Let me move this camera up. So that is actually it. Thank you for watching me do what I love to do, which is just talk about all the books that I own. And yeah, hopefully we'll see you in the next video. Don't know when that's gonna be. I'm thinking I'm going to try and post maybe every Wednesday, but don't come after me if that doesn't work out. But thank you for watching, and I'll hopefully see you in the next video. Bye! Follow me on Fable. I had a... Oh, excuse me, that was a burp.